I'm so excited to talk to both of you about this film and what it means because it's such a graceful film. I want to say.
Oh, thank you.
Thank
Wow,
you.
that's a word we haven't heard attributed yet. I like that.
Well, you're dealing with so many different topics. I mean, the fragility of life, the fragility of the human psyche, and it's such a beautiful fairy tale, and yet hard hitting at the same time. So I'm going to get right into it. HP, in directing this and coming up with all of this, um, it seems to me like this might have been just something out of a dream
Uh,
or a
uh,
nightmare.
I think Grant and I on a daily basis say like, did we dream this? Did that happen? Because it does feel like it was out of a dream. But I also do want to give credit where credit's due to screenwriter Jesse Orenshine for writing such a deceptively simple fable, right? Like I feel like and at the right time, Grant found this script in a moment where we were all in lockdown. We all of us were lacking connection. Even Grant I hadn't met in person. Everything was through Zoom. Everything was like looked like this Brady Bunch grid of people. And I think I was bringing my own experiences to someone else's script. This is the first time I directed a movie that I didn't write. And there was something liberating about taking whatever grief I was experiencing and directing with that lens.
Yeah, and you did it beautifully. I mean, it's a noir piece too to me. I think there's its roots kind of in the 1940s. It just
Like a like a
feels
like a genderless noir. Yes.
yeah, it just feels like what Disney has tried to do with films and never succeeded. You really, I think it doesn't take money, it takes love to do something like this.
Hell yeah. Amen to that. Yeah. Very
Grant, in putting on the skin of Ben, I mean, for this, wow, this must be an actor's dream to play someone this hurt, this open, and maybe I don't want to say the word on the verge of going crazy, but he is discovering something about himself that he didn't know.
uh yeah, and I wish I could say it was a stretch, but it was really just I've never had a project meet me so where I was. When you think about where we were 4 years ago when the script, it was really about this time 4 years ago where I read it for the first time. And you think back to where you were, Tony, in the summer of 2020, and where your head was at, where your heart was at, where your soul was at. And we were all there. And so when I read this piece, it was so prescient. And I talked to Jesse like a couple of days later. It was just like, it was so much. It was like, you too. And it was so much of, and the whole experience has been like that, of just, from showing people the script to showing people cuts of the movie to, and now here we are about to release the film. And it's like, you too, so much of it is like, you too. And so, yeah, it was, I mean, holy cow, I can't believe I got to play this part. I would never, let's call it the way it is. I never would have gotten to play this part if other people were making this movie. But the fact that it found me when it did, I'm just so grateful. I really am. And to be able to showcase, and to stretch and to go there with the people that I got to go there with, who allowed me and helped me get where Ben needed to go. It was, yeah, we talk a lot about like, can we believe we did that? It's like, no, I can't believe I did it. I turn around and I look at a couple of these scenes, like, when, especially like you think about like when my character is watching the message from his wife. I watch that and I'm like, don't fugue state, don't remember, can't believe it. Pinch me, can't believe we got any of that.
Well, to me, and I'm verklempt. That's what I'm going to say. It's about moments frozen in time.
Yeah.
Where we go back to certain pivotal moments in our life and go, oh my God, I came through this. And yeah, I've got scars from it, but I love those scars because it proves that I got through this. Does that make any sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
HP.
I love that you said that because I have an obsession with moments frozen in time. I think every movie I've ever done has to do with moments frozen in time. And the first movie I ever directed was a musical called Fruit Fly, and there's a song called Old Photograph. And I did the lyrics and I composed the music, and it's somebody at an antique store. The lead character's in an antique store looking at old photographs, singing about what it means to take these photographs and capture these moments in time. And then she finds a picture of herself as a baby. And it's just an obsession I've had. I'm a very nostalgic person. And I think for me, The Secret Art of Human Flight was a chance to just kind of explore what it would mean if you only had memories.
Yeah, and it's such a, like I said, it's such a human thing to do. I want to throw some love out to Lucy, who is an amazing actress. I've known her father for, hundreds of years, but she just struck me as the perfect person for that role.
Oh, she knew it on the phone too. I was talking to her on the phone. She was like, "You know what I love about this is Grant even looks like my brother."
Yeah,
And we
she just
talked.
understood the assignment from the word go. It's interesting. We auditioned a lot of actresses for that part, and we, with all gratitude to the actresses who auditioned, it's tough. It's tough rhythmically. It's tough tonally. And you can't. There's no genie telling people like what this thing is. And Lucy just so captured the energy and the cadence that we were looking for. And then you factor in that we do look alike. It was just like a slam dunk, and
Yeah,
perfect.
and I want to also, and no other critics do this, but I have to mention your score is absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I'm very proud of it. I'm always thinking musically, and I'm grateful that Grant gave me permission to do so, because once he gave me permission to do so, I just started singing to him on set. I'm like, this is what the song's gonna sound like. Walk like this.
I've
And it,
never been directed in rhythm before. It was really cool.
well, what's really cool about it? It felt like we were a band.
Hmm.
We were creating like one big composition on the fly. I love that. So thank you. It means a lot to me that you like the score.
Well, I do, and what about the score is it underlines everything perfectly without overcoming what's on the screen. It's just so balanced. And as a director, though, HP, do you hear rhythms in the way people talk, cadences and things like that?
Cadences and things like that. Cadences and things like that. Every time I do.
Wow.
Yes. It's just it's I think speech is music, and you have a very musical way of speaking. Like I think that it's whenever I hear people who have rhythms and tones, I kind of point them out. And I'm sorry if I put you on the spot by doing that, but I that's what I was doing on set. You know, I was doing that on set, and I was like, hey, everybody feel each other's rhythms, because I know this sounds like a running joke with a lot of my friends, but the truth is I started with musicals, and I am a musician, and I kind of took a break for a while, but I'll never forget the first movie I did that wasn't a musical was a horror film called I Am a Ghost,
Wow.
and it did well enough, and I think one of the most intriguing pieces of feedback I got was from the founder of IDEO, which is a design firm, who said to me, "I know you're taking a break from musicals, but I just watched I Am a Ghost, and that movie is a song." And I just kind of embraced that. Was that back in 2011. I remember I embraced it. I said, well, you know what? If I don't get to make a musical, I'm going to try to take whatever I'm doing and turn it into one. And I really do feel like Secret Art of Human Flight, like I was just like this many lyrics away from turning it into a musical.
Oh, wow. It should be a stage play.
Hey, let's see how this theatrical release goes.
If we can get Grant's permission to do
You
it.
know, you're we let's see what happens. We're we've been sort of I would say bandying the idea about a little bit, but again, it's you don't want to get that's hubris. Let's not and
Uh,
say we do.
And
Paul,
until then, I do want people to appreciate Paul and Grant's vocals at the end credits, because I loved working with you on that song, and I loved singing with you on set. Like you and I were Simon and Garfunkel. That was just such a beautiful thing.
It's so great to just work with people who are all around artists,
yeah.
because it's just it creates such a full bodied experience, and being able to communicate. It's they're all just expression. It's all forms of expression. It's all forms of communication. And HP and I found pretty early on that we are both very musical, and it was just another way of being able to share
Yeah.
this movie, but also the experience with each other. I've never had anything like it.
Paul Racy is crazy,
That
crazy
fucking
good,
guy.
and he reminds me so much of Christopher Lloyd in a lot of the scenes. He just walks onto a set and just everybody's looking at him.
That's the case. Like, and you never know which Christopher Lloyd you're gonna get. You
I
know,
don't know.
are you getting Taxi, Christopher Lloyd? You
Yeah,
know, which he was in. I love the scene when he, like, he, without spoiling it for anyone who doesn't know, but, like, his flip off scene. Like, you're getting Taxi, Christopher Lloyd there, right? But, like, I wish Paul didn't have to pee. He'd be here right now to defend himself. But, like, he's the one thing I have said though is that if you look at this on paper, if you look at the script on paper, the obvious thing is to make Ben Grady the straight man. Like, he's just very centered, no chance for comedy at all. And the guru is the one who's throwing his arms around and mugging. But it's the opposite,
yeah.
actually. Like, Paul actually has the most grounded performance in the movie, and Grant is the one who's supplying a lot of the physical comedy. I mean, also, Grant, we put you through the ringer, sorry, but, like,
No, it was great.
we're playing with your body form. We're putting flour in your hair. I mean, you were the wackiest character in the movie, and it's funny because when you walk away from the film, you don't feel like that.
Well, it's really funny. I go back to like day one, and I feel like it's like we're doing the scenes, and I just feel like I'm reverting. I'm reverting back to old bad habits, and I'm doing a lot. I'm doing too much. Like you come from, and it's just like I'm and HB goes. You're really setting the tone here, and I'm like, gosh, like I'm gonna get, like, can I get fired? I don't know, but like, am I ruining this? But no, it was sort of like we sort of found it. You have to sort of, yeah, I didn't. They were able to to sort of HB was able to sort of shape and mold that. But the character did need it. I mean, imagine if this character was just so morose and just so grounded. It would almost flat. It would sink under the weight of its own weight.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so a lot of the early conversations that we had were like, "This is good. Let's keep this thing light on its feet."
Grant, what do you think audiences are going to take away with them from watching The Secret Art of Human Flight?
I have no idea. I don't want to tell people what to. I'm so excited. I've been waiting so long now just to hear, what people take away. And I almost don't want to say anything. I like what we have, what we sort of have, what we know, and I know what this movie means to me, but with this piece, I'm just like, whatever you want to take away, whatever this means to you, like I just wanted this movie to exist for whoever needed it in whatever way they need it. So that for me is, we'll see.
I hope audiences make it their personal fairy tale.
Me too. That would be nice. I would love that.
I would like that too. I'm in the same camp with Grant, where if you were to ask this question a year ago, I probably would have answered. But I am now in a position to say I don't want to dictate, because I mean, I'm just going to share a general feeling that happened over the past year. Each of us have been getting emails from people saying, "Hey, I've been arguing with my spouse all night about the meaning of the ending of the film." You know, um, and the only thing, and one time there was a couple at Tribeca who said, this speaks to his personality. He thinks this is what the ending happened at the end, and I personally think, because I'm the optimist between the two of us, I think this is what happened. And I looked at them and I said, the ending's a Rorschach. Like, I'd have to be a real jerk to choose one of you that's to say that you're right and you're wrong. Like, in the same way that there's no right way to grieve, there's no right way to interpret what happened, because it depends on where you are in life.
Yeah, and I think that's the beauty of film anyway, is that you want that water cooler conversation after people see the film. You want it to stick with them, long enough for them to want to see it again, to check their views, basically.
Right.
Yeah. So
And it
again,
might change the second time, right? Like, you actually might see a different movie the second time you watch it.
it's just such a great movie to go into. You're not expecting that it's going to be funny, and yet tragic and very human all at the same time, and it's just so well done. And I appreciate talking with both of you today. It's an honor. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. Same here.
Thank you
You
so
guys
much.
take care and enjoy your day.
Thank you. We have our first screening tonight. We're excited.